Coming from PEI, we know the importance of buffer zones in this province. It's important in other provinces too, but I think it's especially important here because the amount of agricultural land compared to wetlands here. So, buffer zones are areas that contain natural vegetation to help filter water and runoff from farmland. And what it's filtering are mainly nitrates, phosphates, and other toxins. So those other toxins could be pesticides in this case. And the rules in PEI are it needs to be 15 meters wide for freshwater streams, and they measure it from the edge of the sediment bed. So you can get some pretty wonky measurements depending on the hill slope, and it may not seem totally fair. I included a picture of the Dunk River in the PowerPoint presentation, um, mainly because it's a pretty important river here in PEI, and you can see the amount of farmland it flows through. In addition to that, there's areas on the river where the riparian zone looks a whole lot thinner than others, and at some points it's even questionable if they're maintaining the riparian zone. That's why this topic is super important in Prince Edward Island and keeping it up for current discussions. It's found that buffer zones, like areas with a buffer zone, the water there runs clearer and cooler than streams without a buffer, which makes sense. And it also helps out animal life around the river. It provides natural habitat for, I don't know, looks like beavers, coyotes, fox, muskrat, birds. I was there on the Dunk. I was pretty far upstream once, and we saw some greater yellowlegs. It was pretty neat. Didn't expect them to be upstream that far, and obviously it protects native fish such as brook trout, rainbow trout, Atlantic salmon, and all the seasonal fish that come upriver for spawning. The themes of this presentation are going to touch on ecological importance of buffer zones to an area and variables that affect the effectiveness of buffer zones. And the last theme is going to talk about the effects on human and animals of having a buffer zone versus not having a buffer zone.